Bom, se você conhece um pouquinho da história dos videogames, ou se você assistiu ao filme Tetris, que está no Apple TV, você deve conhecer um pouquinho da história de como esse jogo ganhou o mundo. Tetris, jogo desenvolvido pelo russo Alexei Paditnov, que depois foi para o Game Boy, depois foi para todas as plataformas, e tem uma figura instrumental para tudo isso ter acontecido, Henk Rogers, que está aqui comigo agora. Ele está lançando um livro para contar sobre a sua história de vida, que se chama O Jogo Perfeito, The Perfect Game.
The Perfect Game.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers, thank you so much for your time, for being here with us. And I'm going to start this interview by asking that while I was doing research for this interview, and I read several stories where you mentioned that after you saw the Tetris movie, that tells exactly the story of how you went to Soviet Union to secure the rights for Tetris, the console rights for Tetris for Nintendo. Like, you watched the movie and you said, okay, the movie is great, but that's not the whole story. It was a little bit different. So how was the process of starting to write the book?
So the process actually started when I read the script of the movie. And Alexei Pajitnov and myself, we worked on the script. And the script had, like, I don't know, maybe half of it was like Soviet Union and half was Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then the Hollywood side was like, what's going on? That stuff that never happened. So when I was reading the script, I said, oh my God, this is going to be such a terrible movie. And I wanted to give the writer, the script writer, the real story. So I quickly tried to write the story, the real story. But by the time I finished writing, the movie is already in production.
Oh.
Okay, so I had the story, and then somebody read the story and they said, this should be a book, except that it's too small. You need more. And so I said, okay, I will write the before and after. So it became the story of my whole game career.
And we all know, like, the story of how you went and secured the rights. But can you tell us a little bit, what were the challenges after you secured the rights? And well, after Tetris took over the world, first on Game Boy, then and all of the platforms available.
Well, you should read the book and find out all the challenges. You know, for example, one challenge was that I released Tetris in Japan for the Nintendo Family Computer, and nobody knows what is Tetris. So you look at the box, nobody knows what is this, but by looking at the box. The only way that somebody wants to play Tetris is if they see somebody playing Tetris. And so my initial order for Tetris was too small. And I thought, oh my God, this is going to be I don't know, it's going to be a big problem. But I find a way to figure out the distributors. They were ready to sell the game cheap. I said, no. It's going to come popular. And so our initial order was maybe 40,000. And in the end, we sold 2 million copies.
Wow. Awesome. And do you remember how you felt when you saw the game playing for the first time? Because you were convinced, but you saw someone play, right? Or you played yourself?
Oh, no. My job at that time, I had my own publishing company. So I would come to shows like this. And I would like go around and, which game do I want to bring to Japan? And so I saw Tetris and I stood in line. I didn't think anything of it. Then I played it. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I went around looking for other games, but then I came back. And then I went on, and I came back. The fourth time I came back, I said, oh my gosh, I'm addicted to this game right here. I can't stop playing right now. So then I thought there's something going on here.
Have you ever felt this way, like addicted to any other game or other piece of gaming hardware? Have you ever felt something that catch your attention in this powerful way?
No. It's only when I fall in love with a woman. It's similar. Because I can't think about anything else.
That's awesome. You probably must have played Tetris like a lot. You probably must be the person that played Tetris the most in the world.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I love playing games, but I also have to be a publisher, or I have to do many other things. I can't just play games.
And but can you remember, like, how many times have you beat Tetris?
Beat Tetris?
Yeah, like,
what do you mean by beat Tetris?
I don't know. Okay, like achieving the highest score
in the Game Boy, the highest level you can reach. After you reach it, the space shuttle comes out. I don't know. I've probably done that couple of dozen times.
Awesome.
So.
And like after you guys you secure the rights, then Alexei Pajitnov moves to America, and you two found the Tetris company.
Well, there's a long story. There's a lot of more stuff that happened in between. But yes, in '95, I moved to Hawaii from Japan. And I started my company in Hawaii to be the partner for the Tetris company. Then I started the Tetris company.
And like since then, like you ran the company up to, because you're not running the company right now. Like your daughter is.
My daughter's running it.
Is the CEO. So how was like this process of watching Tetris go global and like having these millions of people that feel exactly what you felt when you played the game the first time, and it becomes this global phenomenon?
It just, it's vindication. I think this is a great game, and I find out that people actually do think like me. It's a great game, and the thing that's about Tetris that's different from other games at the time is women did not play games. After Tetris, women played games. Then everybody realized, oh my gosh, women also play games, and so they started making games for women. Not so violent, maybe some more constructive or something different.
It's awesome. And after all those years, I've read like a lot of video game researchers and critics, how they like to describe Tetris as the perfect game.
There's a lot of reasons for it being the perfect game. One is that it's a game played by everyone. There isn't anybody of any nationality or gender or whatever that doesn't play Tetris. That's one. Number two is it's made me a lot of money. So it's the perfect game for making somebody a lot of money. For we say it's the goose that lays the golden eggs. It just keeps on going, keeps on going. So, but I mean, the whole point of Tetris is that it's a geometry game. It's not a character game. Characters go in style and go out of style. But geometry, squares are never going to go out of style. They're always going to be here. They've been around since the Greeks. So yeah, I think we caught something that's really, really special.
I want to come back a little bit and talk about when you went to the Soviet Union and you negotiated with ELAR to secure these rights. Like when you did all that process, which was a long process, took more than a year to do that. The world was very different. Like since Tetris was released, like in every platform imaginable, the world became much more connected in terms of economy and information.
Yeah.
And the gaming industry, like, it took great advantage of that. Like, you have like a point where you get to know and buy games from all around the world very easily. But now we see this order being changed. We see the world getting a little bit less connected by new policies and tariffs and things getting harder to get. Like, do you see this affecting the game industry in the near future?
I think what is happening in Washington has nothing to do with our industry. Absolutely nothing. We play games with people anywhere in the world. We don't care about your nationality or any of that. So there's a lot of noise coming out on the news. I call it the bad news, but I don't feel it, and I don't think that we in the game industry feel it. I see people here. I don't feel like people feel it.
Awesome. And to wrap it up, like after your career in the game industry, you dedicated yourself to sustainability projects and renewable energy, and now we see how data centers, which are very important for the game industry in the form of the cloud gaming, are taking a toll on our energy consumption. How do you see this reality and how the gaming industry can become more sustainable?
Well, if you're talking specifically about AI, I think we're at the very beginning of AI. In other words, everything is still very inefficient. Just think about cars 100 years ago compared to cars now. We've become much more efficient. And this is going to happen much faster with the help of AI. We're going to become much faster, meaning progress is faster, and we're going to need less energy. But the other thing is, I think that data centers for AI, data centers, should be made next to the free energy source. Either it's hydropower or it's geothermal, but something where there's boundless cheap energy. And so then it's not such a problem for other people because the data centers are taking the energy from other businesses and making the energy price go up. That's no good.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Rogers, thank you so much for your time. And I believe the book is releasing here very soon.
The book is released already.
Is it released already? Oh my God.
We released it in time for the Gamescom Latam.
Awesome.
So it's available here on the floor. You can buy it. And then every day from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I'm signing books.
That's awesome. That's very awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Obrigado a vocês que estão acompanhando a gente aqui. Eu quero saber agora de vocês aí que conhecem a história do Tetris, que conhecem um pouco como esse jogo tomou o mundo aí. Contem um pouquinho aqui pra gente da experiência de vocês com o jogo e não se esqueçam também de curtir esse vídeo e de assinar aqui o canal do Omelete. Valeu.
O Jogo Perfeito.
O Jogo Perfeito, yeah.
O Jogo Perfeito. Okay.
Awesome.